Who am I? If you ask this question to yourself, what will be your answer? Who are you? I doubt whether you have asked this question to yourself. And this is the only question to ask. Who am I? Where is God? Who is God? Why I can't see Him? Why I can't perceive Him? This is not the right question. The right question is, who am I? Not even who. What am I? मैं क्या हूँ? We live for 40, 60, 70, 80 years. But we never ask this question. In India, in the East, this was the only search. Not science, not technology. They spent whole life in search of knowing what am I, who am I, what is my source. Nobody can deny that he is not. Can you say that you are not? You cannot ignore yourself, your own existence. Even to say this much, that I am not, you must be there in the first place. So this is sure that I am. Sometime angry, sometime jealous, sometime happy, sometime sad, suffering, quarreling, fighting, dancing, jumping, eating, listening, walking, talking, doing all sort of things, but unawarely, not knowing who am I. This is very surprising. I am, but I don't know who I am. I am a great philosopher, great musician, great scientist, great teacher, a father, a mother, a surgeon, a doctor. But who I am? If I ask you who you are, what will be your answer? If you know who you are, this is the only knowledge. All else is ignorance. You may be a scholar, very learned one. But if you don't know who you are, you know nothing. You may be an illiterate, simple person, a villager, a farmer. But you know who you are, you know everything. In the East, we call a knowledgeable person who knows himself. He may not know where is USA. Or there is a country called Italy also exists. Even he does not know that Delhi is the capital of India. but he knows who he is. We worshipped these kind of people who discovered who they are. Now this song, which is in Sanskrit, says, it seems, who has wrote this song, he is asserting his true nature because he has realized his true nature, who he is. And one's true nature cannot be explained in words. It cannot be asserted in a positive manner. You cannot say, this I am. At the most, you can say, this I am not, this I am not, this I am not, this I am not. What remains is just me. Still, he has put the realization in words. He calls himself Shivoham, Shivoham. I am a Shiva. Not that Shiva which you see in posters. Sitting in Himalaya. That is symbolic. Listen to his words. He says, I am not the mind. When you use the word, you also say, my mind says. My mind feels. Whatsoever is mine is not me. But we are identified with the mind. We have become one with the mind. And we forget this, that we are not the mind. This song says, I am not the mind, intellect, memory, or ego. I am not. You say, my ego is very powerful. Or my ego is very weak. When you use the word my, this word my, it simply means you have some possessions. Some possessions are outside, like my shirt. Shirt is outside. My watch, my friend, my house, my money, anything. But some possessions are inside. Ego is inside. Mind is inside. Intellect is inside. You cannot take them out. They remain in. But still they are possessions. You possess. You have a mind. A mind is given to you by nature, by God, or whatsoever you want to call it. Intellect is given. Ego is given. Now the Rishi, the seer, has discovered I am not the mind, intellect, memory, or ego. Again he says, nor the ears, nor tongue, not the nose, nor eyes. These senses I am not. Nor the space, earth, fire, or wind. These two I am not. I am of the nature of consciousness and bliss. I am pure self. Have you experienced that you are consciousness? The first question is, how you know that you are? Sometimes when you are angry, you shout at others, you don't know who am I. Do you know who am I? You shout when you are angry. You want to prove and you want to show who you are, but you don't know who you are. You just become angry and say to others, you don't know who am I. Okay, does not matter. I am asking, how do you know that you are? You know that you are. You cannot deny that you are not. But how do you know? What is the difference between a dead body and alive body, alive person? How you differentiate? Because one has consciousness and the other has not. Consciousness has disappeared. When the consciousness disappears, what remains? A dead body. If there is no consciousness, you are a dead body. Because of the consciousness, I come to know I am, and I come to know that the world is, that the universe is. Isn't it? The very substance of knowing, of being, is consciousness. That is why the seer has discovered that I am not the ear, not this, not this, not this, but pure consciousness. And that is me, that is the self. Now this consciousness, one can assume logically that if there is no consciousness, then there is no one to say I. How you can say I? In deep sleep, you don't say I. Do you say? Do you know that you are? You don't know that you are, and you also don't know that the world is. Because the consciousness is at rest also. In the morning, when you wake up, when the waking state begins, the consciousness arises. The moment consciousness is there, the activity starts happening. First you come to know that you are. Next you come to know that you are in the same room. You are in Goa. Sometimes by mistake you are in Goa, but you forget that you are Goa and you are in USA. You find yourself in your country. That is a memory mistake. But when consciousness appears in the morning, the waking state starts. You come to know that you are. It simply means that knowing is happening because of consciousness. If there is no consciousness, there is no knowing. When there is knowing, you are. It means being is there. Being and knowing is one. There are two aspects of the same. If you are knowing, it simply means you are. Your existence is there. You be. When there is being, the knowing is happening. So logically, you can understand that because of consciousness, you know you are. That is why I am consciousness. That is my true nature. That is my true self. That is why seer is saying, I am of the nature of consciousness. Again he is saying, not the life breath, nor the 5 pranas. In India, in East, we went so minutely, so subtly into one's nature that they have not left anything to discover. But inside, they have discovered without any instrument that there are 5 kind of breaths, pranas. They have different function. When you breathe, when it goes in 5 directions and does 5 different kind of activity. Here we are not going into detail. The seer is saying not the life breath, nor the 5 pranas, not the 7 constituent of the body, nor the 5 sheaths. This body is made of 5 sheaths. Annamaya kosha, physical body. Pranamaya kosha, breath body. They call it also that it is a next body. Manomaya kosha, they call mind also even the subtle and next. Even this body has 5 sheaths, 5 layers. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Anandamaya, Vijnanamaya. We will talk later. We will go deep, step by step. Not the organ of speech. The seer is saying, I am even not the organ of speech, nor hands and feet, nor genitals, nor anus. I am of the nature of consciousness. My nature is to know, to be conscious. Conscious is the very substratum of my being, of my existence. Again he goes on. I do not have likes, dislikes. But you have. You have likes, dislikes. Why? Because you don't know who you are. The moment you know who you are, there are no likes, dislikes. You have transcended. Maybe still, because you are living a life, you know who you are, still living a life. Likes, dislikes disappears. All the pairs of duality disappears. Pain and pleasure, day and night, good and bad, beautiful and ugly. All the polar opposite disappears. But still you are living. Still you have preferences. When you come to me, I will ask you whether you will have a cold drink or a coffee. You can say coffee. It does not mean likes, dislikes. One has transcended. I do not have likes, dislike, greed and attachments. The moment you come to know your true nature, these things disappears. You have not to renounce. You have not to control. You have not to throw. You cannot do that. All the time we are doing that. We are trying that. I do not have pride, nor do I have the feeling of jealousy. I do not have pursuit of religion, money, desires or freedom. Even freedom. Freedom is also left behind. I am of the nature of consciousness. Again he says, there is no virtue, no sins, no pleasure, no pain, no mantra, no holy place, no Vedas, no sacrifices for me. Nothing. I am neither an experience. He goes on negating everything. He is moving more into subtlety. An experience. He is denying the experience also. Sometimes we meditate and we have very beautiful experience, maybe small one, but we are so much proud of it. And that today I had such a good experience. I am neither an experience nor the object of experience, not the experiencer. He says, I am even not the experiencer. That too I am not. We will talk. We will go also settle into it. I am of the nature of consciousness. He again and again says, my nature is consciousness. He says, I have no death, no suspicion. There is no caste difference in me. Neither I have nor father or mother, nor I am born. There is no death for me, neither I am born. On the Samadhi of Osho is written, Osho never born, never died. It must be a joke. Ho jaye. Why you are so serious, sir? Don't be serious. Don't be serious. Ho jaye. We will discover our true nature here. That is why we are here for 40 days. What else we are going to do? And I will not spare you. And you cannot run. Now, you are caught in the net. I have no relatives. No father, no mother, no friends, neither master nor disciple. He says, I have no master, no disciple. Strange assertion. But that is how Indian mystics are. Mystic, wherever he is, wherever. He is an Indian. I am of the nature of consciousness. The last one, he says, Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupa. Now he is giving little more clue. He says, I am free of alternatives. I need no alternate. I am just free. I am not dependent on anything. Because I am not bound, that is why I am not free. One can be free if he is. I am free of alternatives and having no forms, I have no form. Nirakara Rupa. I am in all sense organ as I pervade everywhere. He is creating more mystery. He says, I pervade everywhere. Not only miles, millions and millions and billions. Miles away also I pervade. Now here, if I ask you who you are, you will say, I am Ras Khan, I am Bhola, I am Yogini, I am Sakshi. And if I, who's Yogini? This is Yogini, this is Ras Khan. This who is sitting before you. This will be your answer. Or you can say, I am a man or a woman. Or you will say, I am American or Indian or German. Or you will say, I am a doctor, an engineer, a musician, an artist. But do you? This is not your true identity. This is an identity of yours, of course, and that is needed for functioning. But actually who you are, what you are. The seer is saying, I pervade everywhere, there is no freedom or bondage for me. I am of the nature of consciousness and bliss. I am pure self. If I tell you that you are not the body, you will be laughing at me. And that is the first thing to tell you. Your good name, Swamiji? Edo. So if I tell Edo that you are not Edo, you are not what you appear to be. You are much and much more. You are everywhere. Will you believe me? You will say no. But that is the case. If you close your eyes for a moment and realize that you are, you know that you are. Now this knowing is there. What form it has? Can you show me that form? Or to yourself? Or can you describe it? You can call it that I experience that I am. If you are experiencing something, it is separate from you. It is apart from you. I can experience only that which is at distance from me. Maybe little distance, maybe more distance. I can experience my thoughts. I can experience my sensation. I can experience my feeling. Why? Because I am already at a distance. And I am not it. They may be mine. I can claim them. I can possess them. I can renounce them. I can give it to you. Or even I can demand some more. But still, spirituality means only asking and discovering this much. What am I? Who am I? If you know your true nature, if you know who you are, if you know what you are, you know everything. All else is just time pass. You can time pass doing anything. You can spend your whole life doing anything, but you will come back again until you learn the lesson. And what is the lesson? Lesson is only this much, that you come to know who you are. How to know? One can say, I have experienced myself. If you have experienced yourself, still it is not the realization. Because he is saying, I am not the experience, I am not the experiencer. Realization is the word. We call Buddhas to them who have realized their true nature, not experienced their true nature. Because in any experience, the experiencer remains. But in the realization, the experience and the experiencer both become one. They merge into each other. That is realization. So please, whenever you have time, or you can remember, you can just ask yourself, who am I? But you will see, you will forget. You will forget. The most arduous phenomenon is to remember oneself. Okay, you forget. You don't ask who am I. You just tell yourself, I am. Just remember, I am. You know you are. But you live in forgetfulness. All the time, you are not aware of yourself, of your own being, of your own existing. You know everything. You go on functioning all the time, but in forgetfulness. Forgetfulness of oneself. And this much is the only sadhana to remember oneself. In two words, self-remembering, self-forgetfulness. When you are able to remember yourself continuously, when it is a constant state in you that you cannot forget yourself. You can forget anything. When there is no effort to remember oneself, that is what we call enlightenment. And how to self-remember? Just shake your head and feel I am. Feel your emness. Again and again, go on working, go on functioning, living your life as you are living, but in remembrance of oneself. I am. Just remember and be. But you will see, this becomes the most arduous thing. Just try it. To remember oneself. That is why so many techniques, so many paths, so many methods. For what? Only to remember oneself. For self-remembering. You're getting me? To remember. This forgetfulness is so long. It is not easy to remember oneself. And the moment you start remembering yourself, your life will start transforming. That is the beauty. There are so much confusion, so much war, so much hatred on this earth. Why? Because nobody knows himself. No Buddha is confused. You cannot say he is a confused Buddha. Can you say that? No Buddha fights. No Buddha hates anyone. Why? Because he knows who he is. The moment you know who you are, everything changes. Everything, sir. You remain the same. Your eyes are there, your ears are there, your nose are there, everything is just like before. You are functioning like also before. Nothing special has happened in your outlook. But deep down, everything is transformed. You will see there is no jealousy, there is no anger, there is no possession, there is no relative, there is no father, there is no mother. I am and my true nature has no form. Only a form is limited, howsoever big it is. Even nation have their forms. They have their boundaries. Your body has a form. This watch has a form. Everything you see, perceive, has a form. A form has a name. If there is no form, there is no name. Because you have no form, that is why you have no name also. That name is for this body because there are so many bodies. It will be very confusing if there is no name. So name is a utility. It is not the case. It is not my true identity. And if I accept this, that I am consciousness, if I meditate little deeper, slowly, as I know myself that I am this, I am this, I am this, I am Raskan, I am a male, I am a father, I am a son, I am a musician, I am a doctor, slowly, it will become more and more silent, and your true nature, this consciousness will start appearing. And a moment will come when you are totally merged into that consciousness and can realize that I am consciousness. I am of the nature of consciousness, pure self.